Memo. Now for the top story tonight, let's bring in Dick Morris, a purveyor of the political website dickmorris.com, whose new book, Catastrophe, will be released next week, and you can order it on the Morris website. There's got to be more to
this. Order a
this.
signed copy, actually.
Okay. Whatever you want, Morris will get it to you.
Yep.
There's got to be more to this
Balloons,
than just
stuffed animals.
more to this than just whining. There's got to be more to this than that.
No, it's got nothing to do with whining. He is getting an avalanche of incredibly positive publicity. One network had a whole 2-day series with him at the White House.
Right.
Another network is invited to do a full day's broadcasting from the White House as long as they focus on health care reform. With that kind of sloppy sentiment coming from the media, he has to talk about criticism.
Why?
Well, because he has to appear that the media is being fair and balanced to him. And he has to say, oh, I'm being criticized, so he can counterbalance public perceptions that he's getting a sweetheart deal from the media.
But why does he care what people think about media coverage of him? Well, why does he care about
There was a metaphor that I derived in my years of work with Clinton that's fairly elegant, but I think accurate. There's a hothouse of adulation within the White House, of people loving him within his staff. And then he gets criticized, cold criticism outside, like he claims, from Fox. And when the cold meets the warm, it creates a fog that gives the president notoriously bad vision of what's going on around him. And I saw that exact phenomenon take place with Clinton, takes place with every president, and it's probably what's going on with Obama.
But how does that act out in policy? Look, I think I'm a pretty fair observer here at Fox. Now, again, I offer a challenge to anybody. You think I've been unfair to President Obama? Put it in here, and we'll kick it around. I mean, you know what I do. I criticize people. I praise people, depending on how I see it. I'm not ideological. But he had an intent to say that, and you feel it's because he wants the American public to think that the media is not in the tank for him?
Exactly.
Everybody knows the media is in the tank for him.
But that's why he has to say the opposite.
Didn't the editor of the San Francisco Chronicle come out today and say...
Yeah. Oh, look, Obama has a political method of political MO, if you will, which is he says very often the precise opposite of what he and everybody else knows to be true. Today he had a piece in the Wall Street Journal, an interview where they said he wants a light regulatory hand. Yeah, tell that to the guys at GM that are getting fired. He says that he wants to leave your health insurance untouched. And then he's talking about cutting everybody's costs by $2,500.
So all politicians do that.
Yes, but the point is that if he, in fact, is getting media adulation on a scale no president has ever gotten since
true.
John F. Kennedy.
Absolutely. So that's why it comes off as whining.
He needs to come back and talk about Fox News because he needs to create the impression that it's
now,
more
isn't it
objective
true
than
that
it is.
every president wants to manage the media? I mean, President Bush certainly did, Bush the Elder, Ronald Reagan. They all want to manage the media. So when you were with Clinton, did Clinton talk about the media a lot?
Constantly, and he was constantly complaining about it.
This was before Lewinsky.
Way before Lewinsky.
Okay, because once Lewinsky happened, everything changed. But before Lewinsky, what was he complaining about?
Before Lewinsky, it was a scandal every day. Paula Jones, the FBI files, the Travelgate thing. Every single day there was a new story.
And that's what he didn't
scandal.
like.
Whitewater. Not only didn't like, he spent, I would say, half of his time, half of his waking hours
managing that.
No, screaming about it, hollering about it, moaning about it. And then he would go after specific reporters. Susan Schmidt of the Washington Post, Jeff Gerth of the New York Times.
When you say go after, how do you go after them?
Well, all I knew is that he would physically complain about them.
Okay, so
he's
whining about
them at length.
them.
God knows what he, in fact, was doing to them. But the idea was that they were bête noires. He may have had a dartboard and thrown darts
So he
at
was reading the stuff and he knew it was doing it. Now, in your opinion, what is the difference?
By the way, the exception was Hillary, who refused to read negative stories about herself.
What is the difference between the way Clinton perceived the media back then and Obama perceives it now?
Well, the media goes in cycles. And I don't think it's only partisan. Obviously, it's left biased, but it's also cyclical. When Clinton took office, people had given Reagan a very easy time of it, and to some extent Bush. And the media was determined to be much more critical, and as a result, they were much more critical of Clinton. Then after 9/11, they decided to give Bush a free ride because they were scared to death about
Right.
what was happening to the country.
Right.
Then they decided we've been too soft on Bush, and they went way over in the other direction. And now they're being very pro-Obama, A, because they're liberal, and B, to compensate for all the negative
All right,
publicity.
now,
they've
last
been
question,
giving under
15
Bush.
seconds. I don't think Obama has a legitimate beef here, do you?
No, of course not.
Okay.
Of course not.
Dick Morris, everybody.
Fox is more conservative than liberal, but it's not more or less pro-Obama. It's when Obama agrees with them, we agree with him.
I think the Pew study said it all.
Yeah.
Okay? We were the fairest and most balanced. And what I was referring to, ladies and gentlemen, is the editor of the San Francisco Chronicle, the former editor, Phil Bronstein, said the media and Obama should get a room. That was his quote. And he's as liberal as they come, that guy. All right.